Great Grand Rising. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Let me just give this a Great Grand Rising on Facebook. And we're going to take a look at belief audit today. What do you believe? Are your beliefs sabotaging your life? So go take a moment, tag your friends and your family members. Let them know Spiritual Success TV is live. I'm going to just check, make sure we're broadcasting over here on Facebook and throw up a happy Monday. And we are ready to go, guys. No, I mean, happy Tuesday. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, there we go. All right. So, with that being said, beloved, come on in, come on in. Let's activate the success mind. Let me scoot back a little bit. Activate the success mind. Let's go ahead and take a good, healing, deep breath in and exhale. We relax from the crown of the head to the soles of the feet. Relax. If you're sitting, uncross those legs, straighten out that back, open your center. Focus inward now. Deep breath in. Exhale. Relax deeper. So thankful and grateful for the awesome privilege to be in this sacred space, to be in this divine container called Spiritual Success Life. We are here with full gratitude, We breathe and exhale. All right, lovelies, we are here. Hey, Reese, great to have you here this morning. All right, lovely. So the last couple of days, I took a little sidestep yesterday because I wanted to lay a foundation down for relationships, but we are looking at the belief gap, how to close that, because there is no time gap, only a belief gap. And I was up like long time through the night, just meditating on that, on closing that time gap that we think is there by extending or expanding the belief gap. Just keep raising the vibration. So today, I want us to do like a belief audit. Let me preface it by saying this, and I know you know this, but beloved, your belief is so powerful. Your belief, your perception, the way you see things, the way you view things is so important. I talk about this a lot because I live this a lot. I inspect this a lot, right? I'm always working, always doing internal work, not in a worrisome type of way, in a joyful way, in a way that each time that you begin to go in deeper for a gentle inquiry as to what you believe, how you believe, you will begin to uncover more. More begins to open up and expand. More opens up and expand. And so I will not be done until I'm done. I will not be done until I leave here. And I don't plan on leaving here anytime soon, all right? So with that being said, when you look at the belief audit, and if you've never taken one, you can get one free on my website, elonasanders.com. It'll be right up there on a big marquee, or either you can look on the side. Just put your name and email address in and do that belief audit and take your time with it. And I'm going to be upgrading that. I'm going to switch that out to something else in the very near future. All right? So, as we are here in this month of convergence, pulling everything together, all our pieces together today, we want to close that belief gap by doing a belief audit. Because what you believe is calling the shots in your life. And the first thing I want you to do, if you haven't done this in a while, as you go through this belief audit, is number one, give yourself permission to believe what you believe, even if it goes against conventional wisdom, if it goes against the crowd. This is what we call a privilege of agency, right? That privilege of agency for you to operate in your divine sovereignty no matter what. And as my mentor like to say, especially when everything else wants to be contrary to you, contrary to what you believe. Nothing and no one is going to be more powerful than you. You know my saying, I would tell you guys all the time, you are the greatest prophet you will ever run into. Get to prophesying in your life. Have the posture of the prophet. Even myself, like I said, I go through this all the time, right? I will activate the prophetic in my own life. I'm looking at the ways that I say things and the way that I think. And, there are some things that's so deeply ingrained that you start flowing in that whether you realize it or not. I think I was on a business call yesterday, with an insurance agent. And before I know it, I blurted something out of my mouth. And most of the day I was like, you know what, I call that back. I don't want to say that. I don't want to think like that. I don't want to confess like that, because that is not who I am and not where I want to go. Right? So with that being said, and if anybody's out there, I've been hearing horror stories. Everybody know what's happening in the insurance industry, with homeowners insurance, with escrow accounts. I mean, they're just stories. All right. But really examining, and no one is going to do this for me. I have to do it for myself. I have to police myself. I have to be the own warden in my own internal life, right? So I used to say, you the warden of your own prison. We don't want to put ourselves in prison. We want to be free. So I said all of that to say this is that we're always checking. We're always upgrading. We're always doing what's necessary, right, to bring our belief where it needs to be, because your belief is calling the shots. But what I want to say here is that your belief is more powerful than anything. And we want to take that power of belief and the power of agency that we have been given and allow it to work in our lives. So as we were in our mastery class yesterday, and we were just looking at and dealing with the struggles or the challenges people have with letting old ingrained beliefs go that no longer serves you, but because it's so deeply ingrained, you just keep going back. You keep going back. But what I appreciate about my students is that they're using the tools and the techniques, and they're using those things to help them work through, right? Move through, breathe through, tap through whatever comes up that wants to cut them off from progress, right? So when we start looking at the belief audit, it's time again. I do this like every quarter, like the end of every quarter. I look at my progress. I look at where I've been, and then I ask myself, what are you believing about your God self now? Right? It's important. What are you believing about your God self? Well, at least I'm there where I can say my God self and not just God. Because I had to look at years ago, I had to look at the version of God, the version of Jesus that the church gave me. And y'all know the story, not going back into that again, but I had to examine that and realize that that version that was given to me no longer served me. That was not the one true almighty essence. The way that they interpreted, the way that they put characteristic attributes, the way that they highlighted it, it didn't work for me. So you have to be mature enough to stand in what is going to work for you and what's going to allow you to keep growing. Because, beloved, listen, you don't need to be miserable in your belief. You don't need to be miserable in your worship. You don't need to be miserable in your places or houses of gathering for worship. If you're miserable, you have to do this belief audit. And you have to ask, what is it that you believe about God? Well, all the things that they were telling me about God and his character and his attributes, that no longer served me. So what did I have to do? I had to go back in to scripture, go back into my relationship and recognize, okay, well, that's not true for me anymore. That may still be true for them, but it's no longer true for me. That's what we're talking about. Getting to the heart and core of what's true for you and what you believe, right? So there were all kind of mechanisms in place, right, to keep us in line, to keep us obedient, but no longer working. And then after I got so solid in it, then it was time to confront that and make it known without apologizing. Right? Without apologizing. And it's okay. Because, beloved, when it's all said and done, you have to be about the business of why you're here. You have to be about the business of honoring your wealth attractors, those God-given, inborn gifts that you came here with. You have to be about the business of honoring that, doing your craft, doing your work and doing it with everything you have, and not allowing our old belief system to still dictate to you how you're going to make it through. So these are the categories you have to thoroughly look at. What is it that you believe about God, about your God self, your higher self, the Holy Spirit, your relationship to God? Are you still seeing God as this mean, vengeful, jealous God way up in heaven on a throne that's just waiting to get you, waiting to knock you down, waiting to just destroy you when you do something wrong? I don't believe that about God. That's not the version of God that I hold dear as the almighty one presence, one power that created all things. I don't have that view. I don't even look or think or feel about God as that. And then I had to go further to begin to heal all that trauma and that fear so that I can get to a place where I recognize there's no separation between me and God. We're one. And in this 3D realm, I'm just like God. So when we say I am, I only think of that and feel that in terms of the Almighty, one presence of the Creator God, that we are one. What do you believe about God? I no longer believe in an angry, mean, vengeful, wicked, full of judgment, leaving you in trouble, leaving you in depression. That's not the God for me. Y'all talk back to me today. Then not only that, you have to go in and look at, well, what do you believe about the adversary? What we call the devil, Satan, Shaitan. What do you believe about? I don't believe what I used to believe. Because I told you, in our environments, we talk so much about the devil. We talk so much about, he just get blamed for everything, like he's omniscient, almighty, right? I don't believe that. As a matter of fact, you guys know. If you've been following me for any length of time, how often do you hear me talk about the devil? Now, there's a little saying that we had, in the old school church. Every now and then I'll say it because I just like the way we used to say it. But I rarely even say that. And y'all know what it is. Talk back to me. The devil is a liar. And when we used to be serious, we would say the devil is a lie and the father of it, right? And so we say there's no truth in him. And I used to say he'll tell the truth if it's going to benefit him. If it's going to get you off track, he will absolutely tell the truth. But you don't hear me speak of the devil, reference the devil, give credit to the devil, That's not even in my purview anymore. It's not even in my world. That doesn't mean that I deny that evil is in the world, but I understand what good and evil is now, right? And it's nothing but an energy or a polarity that you get to choose. Because most things are not evil in itself. As I said yesterday when we were talking about relationships, people are not bad and wicked and evil. They may do some bad, evil, and wicked things. But in my mind, you have to leave them with the choices they're making about how they want to live, about what they want to show up as. So what do you believe about the devil? You still believe in the devil is all powerful? He's up in your affairs? Do y'all remember, like in the late 90s and the early 2000s? I mean, the church was thick in this thing about spiritual warfare and being under attack. Oh, we used to just be under attack. I came under attack. Like the devil and all the demons had all the power and all the authority, and we were constantly being attacked. I don't live in that environment anymore. Anything that happens, I look to me first, because I'm more powerful in this 3D realm. What am I thinking, feeling, and believing that's attracting this in my life? Why does this keep showing up? Why do I keep going around this cycle? God's not doing that to me, but spiritual laws are in place and you just can't get around them. And those laws that are in place, you cannot get out until you line up with laws that will allow you to move in another direction. So we don't constantly look for somebody to come bail us out. Now we know I'm getting myself out of here. I don't care if it takes me another 50 years, I'm going to get myself out of here. And I'm going to keep working, because as a matter of fact, I'm already out. It's already done. Remember, the future is not on a timeline. The future is a frequency. So now that we know that the future is a frequency, what do? Start working on how to raise frequency. What do you believe about God? What do you believe about the devil? What do you believe about people? Some people still believe that people everywhere is just evil and wicked. Some people believe that people are all good. I don't like when I hear people say, I don't like people. I can't stand people. Well, you can't stand yourself because you're a people, right? You need to look at that. Why do we make statements like that? I hate people. I don't like people. People get on my nerve. People are going to be people. They're going to do what they do. They're going to be what they, even folks that you don't like, all of this fighting that we have here, it even not even about that. People are going to think what they think, believe what they believe. So all this big dividing that we even have in our nation with the right versus the left and all of this craziness, I'm not in that fight. I'm right center in the neutral zone of what I believe, what I think, what I feel, what my spirit agrees with or doesn't agree with, but I'm not in that fight. I'm just not going to be in that fight. People are going to believe what they believe. People are going to walk in whatever it is they walk in. And I'm not going to get in a fight, but I know what my power is, and I use my power for good, right? So that's why I said now more than ever, with this huge transition that the entire world is in, you have to decide for yourself what you believe. And I will never give my belief and place all my belief in one person to be my savior, because I'm God in this 3D realm. There may be peoples and positions that take up certain tasks, that fulfill certain agendas, that can have my support, that can have my good wishes, my prayers, whatever. But I'm never putting it all on one person, right? Never putting it on one person. What do you believe about God? What do you believe about the devil? What do you believe about yourself? What is your worldview? What do you believe about the world? What do you believe about the universe that we live in, right? That we're part of? I believe it's inherently good. I believe the world is a beautiful place, even planet Earth. It is a beautiful place. What do you believe? Can I believe that this is an evil, wicked place that's on its way to damnation? You can believe whatever you want to believe. It's up to you. But I choose to believe for peace. I choose to believe that all things are working together, fitting into a plan for good, and nothing is forever. It might be a temporary delay because I'm working on building my frequency to come in alignment and agreement with what I truly desire to live. Come on, y'all. Y'all know my saying. We can do this. We can do this. We can make it right. Take a belief audit. We're getting ready to close out Q1. And just a few more days, we're going to have completed 90 days already in this brand new year. Can you believe that? Let's take a good healing deep breath in and exhale. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't stop. Don't sit down. Don't throw in the towel. We can do this. We can make it work. All right, lovelies. I'm going to release you with many blessings for the rest of your day. Bye for now.